If I could have your attention in the media center, we'll now start today's Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series post-qualifying media availability for the 57th annual Bass Pro Shops NRA Night Race. And we're joined by our second place qualifier, Kyle Larson, driver of the number 42 Huggies Little Movers Chevrolet for Chip Ganassi Racing. And Kyle, you had the high line going there during qualifying, almost got the pole. What is it about that high line that really you take to?
I don't know. It's easier to run up there. It's for me, anyways. It's easier and more consistent, and a lot of speed up there. So, kind of wish I would have went top both ends for my good lap, because I felt like my third lap I made up a lot of time. So I think if I would have had a little more goody on my tires, I could have went a little bit better. So, wanted that pole really bad. It'd have been cool to kind of snooker them and get the pole, just because. They all didn't or were committed to the bottom, and I knew that the top was better, but came up just a few thousandths short of the pole, which isn't bad, but looking forward to tomorrow.
Open the floor for questions. If you have a question for Kyle, please raise your hand. We'll get a wireless microphone to you. We'll start here with Jenna.
Jennifer, AP. I've missed a little since you've been on this streak. Do you feel any different? Do you feel like does winning in this series, and does it make you feel different or more comfortable or confident?
I don't know. I think, running good makes you confident for sure. I don't think it's changed me as a person any, or maybe any happier. I'm always pretty happy, but it's just cool to be running good or up front in this form of racing with the toughest competition I think is out there. So I'm proud of that and proud of my team, and hopefully we can finish these next few weeks out strong, and then start the playoffs good and go for a championship, because I feel like we have a great opportunity in front of us to win the championship. So we just got to focus on that, and confidence is a big thing, so hopefully we can maintain that confidence throughout the rest of the season.
Does winning make Owen happier?
Yeah. I think winning makes Owen happier for sure. He likes taking pictures.
Go to Jeff.
Jeff Gluck from jeffgluck.com. Kyle, do you see this race playing out similarly to how the spring played out, where like the sticky stuff is on the bottom for the first part, wears off, you move up? I mean, is that how it will probably unfold again?
Yeah, I don't see how it wouldn't. I almost think, well, I know that the top will actually come in a lot quicker than it did in the spring, just because there's already more rubber up top, and there's going to be a lot of rubber up there after this Xfinity race. And then we also don't have any weather, I don't think, from this point on to tomorrow. I know it could always change, but I think there's going to be plenty of rubber up there. They're not putting the sticky stuff quite as wide around the bottom this time as the spring, so that's going to make the pace down there a little bit slower already. So I think the top's going to be really good. It's going to be racy as always. Bristol's always, to me, one of the raciest tracks we go to, most exciting for sure. So I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be fun to move around and get the traffic, and there's never any time to relax here.
Additional questions? Go to Annie.
Just changing gears for a second. Can you, to politics, could you share at all your reaction to Charlottesville, and also your reaction to how the president has handled that situation?
I don't really have a comment on it. I was really busy last week, so honestly didn't get a whole lot of time to catch up on social media or television. So, I don't really have an opinion on it. Sorry.
Any additional questions for Kyle? Kyle, congratulations on your starting spot, and good luck tomorrow night.
Thanks.
If I can have your attention here in the media center, we are now joined by the Coors Light Pole Award winner for tomorrow night's 57th annual Bass Pro Shops NRA Night Race here at Bristol Motor Speedway, and that is none other than Erik Jones, driver of the 5-Hour Energy Extra Strength Toyota for Furniture Row Racing. How sweet does it feel to be a Coors Light Pole Award winner?
Yeah, it's cool. It's I was hoping we were going to be able to accomplish a few things this year, and this was one of our goals, or at least one of my goals for sure. So pretty awesome, especially at Bristol. It's a cool place to get your first pole. Bristol's been really good to me over the last couple of years, especially in the Xfinity Series. So to come here now in the Cup car and get the 5-hour energy car a pole is just really sweet. So we've been working really hard and been having better and better results over the last month, and to see it kind of accumulate and work itself into a pole is really special. So just one more to go, and I'll be hopefully talking to you again soon. I'll be really happy.
Okay, we're going to open the floor up for questions. If you have a question for Erik, please raise your hand. We'll get a wireless microphone to you. We'll start up front with Bob, and then we'll work our way around.
Bob Parker, ESPN. Most people would say winning a pole means good things for the race. With the traction compound on the track and maybe some unknowns, does it mean as much?
No, I would say it honestly doesn't transfer as much now because the track is going to change so much. Obviously, we worked back and forth today between the bottom and the top line to try to balance that out. But it's definitely going to be a different track. I think you're going to see it change a lot in the first couple hundred of laps. But either way, the way I look at it, we've got a really fast car. We were fast in practice, had good average speed. So it's just a matter of adjusting the best we can to that balance as it changes throughout the night, and doing our job to keep up with it and keep our car as fast as we can.
Go next to Nate, then to Kenny.
Nate Ryan, NBC Sports. Erik, it seemed like there was genuine enthusiasm from your team out there when you guys learned you won the pole. Obviously, it's the season highlight, but for your guys, there's obviously still some uncertainty about next season. I know you were kind of distant from it being in North Carolina when they were in Colorado, but what's been the mood like with the team recently, and do you have any sense of what might happen for next year?
Yeah, everybody's been really, honestly, just as pumped up. I feel like I'm so close to all the guys that really nothing's changed. I feel like this is, of the teams I've worked with, one of the closer ones I've been with. So it's just, the mood's still been good. We've been working, obviously, just as hard as ever. Over the last month, I think has been one of our best months in the series this year. So we've been bringing really fast cars. We're all still focused on the ultimate goal, which right now is to make the playoffs. And, obviously we need to get a win to do that. So I don't have any information on the 77 for next year. I wish the best for them. I hope to see it keep going. Obviously Furniture Row's done a lot for me, Barney and everybody over at Furniture Row, and I've appreciated it a lot. Obviously this is my first full-time Cup opportunity, so I hope they keep it going. It's been fun to build that team with those guys and get stronger and stronger each week.
Kenny?
Kenny Bruce with NASCAR.com. Erik, obviously winning races is what you're trying to do, and it's a big deal when you get your first win in whatever series you're in. But did you spend time thinking about when you were going to win your first pole?
Yeah, I mean, it's something it's definitely one of those milestones you want to get. I remember winning my first Xfinity pole. I remember winning my first truck pole. All of those were, kind of bigger milestones for myself. So, yeah, I was excited. Have I really thought about it that much? No, I can't say I've thought about it as much as, winning our first race together. But you're still pumped up. I was excited. I'm still excited. It's just neat for us to see it all come together. And for the next day until the race starts, we're the best in the garage right now. So that's just a neat feeling for us.
Jim Utter?
Jim Utter, Motorsport.com. If you can kind of think back towards April, how much do you think has your team grown and changed since that time, and how much do you think you have as a Cup Series driver?
Yeah, a lot on both ends. On my end, I think over the last month and a half, 2 months, I've been a lot more prepared for what we've been doing week in and week out. I feel like I've been really upping my effort more and more each week and figuring out how to get better as a race car driver. I didn't exactly know how to do that at the start of the year, but just everything I've been learning and accumulating and figuring out on the racetrack and the studying during the week and putting the work in off the track has added up for myself and as well as the team. Just everybody's in a good rhythm. Everybody knows their role. Chris Gale's been doing a really good job. Our engineers have been really strong. And they just have a really good feel for what I want out of the race car. And when I tell them, what it's doing, they have a really good notebook now to go back on and have a feel of exactly what I'm trying to get out of the race car.
Jeff?
Jeff Gluck from jeffgluck.com. Erik, What has to go right for you to win tomorrow night?
Well, every week you have to have a lot of things go right, but Bristol, I think it's a little, exaggerated in some ways. But I've been saying for the last few months now that it's to win a race for us is going to take a good week of execution, and it starts in practice. You need to practice well, and then it goes to qualifying. We need to qualify well and start up front, and then go about the race. So it's going to take a lot of patience from myself because the racetrack is going to change so much, and there's going to be some ups and downs, I'm sure, for us throughout the night, and it's going to be, sticking with that and not getting frustrated, not getting upset if the car's not doing exactly what we want, hanging on till the next pit stop, making good adjustments, making good changes, and just, like I said, just staying with it. So I don't know exactly what the track's going to do, but that's obviously a big question mark for everybody. So it's going to be, it's going to be a tough race, but I think we can definitely do it. If this has been a good track to me, and feel like I have a decent idea of what it's going to take at the end of the day. Seeing in practice some of the times, I would say 75 laps, somewhere around there. Maybe sooner than that even.
Go next to Woody, then to Jenna.
Woody came with MRN, so I got to ask you, does this mean the mullet is officially lucky now, and does this eliminate any talk of getting rid of it?
I've said now for a while I'm going to keep it at least till the end of the year. So does that mean it's never going away? No, I'm not going to say that, but I'll keep it to the end of the year at this point. I know last week we were at Michigan, and obviously James Small was filling in the crew chief role, and he got on the radio and told me if we won he was going to cut my mullet off. So I don't know if that still applies this weekend, tomorrow night, but we may even see it gone after the race.
Jenna?
Jennifer, AP. Erik, what is your approach to the playoffs? How do you feel right now? You're 16th. You're on the bubble. Do you feel like you need to win, or can you point your way in?
Yeah, I do right now. Feel like we need to win. Looking back on the season, it's really frustrating to look back on the season because we've had 6 DNFs. So that's that's why we're not in the playoffs. Is those 6 races? If we would have finished those 6 races, we'd be in. I think in absolutely fine spot to point our way in. So at this point, New Hampshire was the weekend I thought where we got out of the race with a blown tire. Was the point where I was like, yeah, we're going to have to win at this point. It's just too big of a deficit with only 3 races to go, counting tomorrow night. So we definitely got to win. I think the pressure's on, but we've all been handling the pressure really well, and I think that's shown over the last few weeks.
Any additional questions for Erik? Erik, congratulations on your first pull, and good luck tomorrow night.
All right, thanks, guys.